こうして一緒にいる限り、いくらでも過去は共有できる。
New skies. Okay, let's go. This Sally's number one high school. As you step out of the subway, you see the low-profile gate of Sally's number one high school. The dappled shadow of a century-old camphor tree is cast upon the school's golden name, betraying glimpses of its long history. And you are here because... Pantry. You met Kiki, who came to the pantry for a cup of coffee during the lunch break.
先輩、さっき携帯で見たんですけど、左京さんが通ってた高校でオープンキャンパスが行われるそうですよ。
Kiki says as she flashes the information on her phone to you. Yeah, I'm aware. Mr. Wing's high school holds an open house day every year.
知ってたんですか？それならどうしてそんなに落ち着いて、知りたいと思わないんですか？彼氏の僕。
You immediately cover Kiki's mouth with your hand and regret telling her about your relationship with Artem. Shh, keep your voice down. Perhaps noticing that she got too excited, Kiki lowers her volume and mischievously comes up to you.
それで、先輩は気にならないんですか？左京さんの高校時代がどんな感じだったのか。
Artem's high school days.
何も言わないってことは気になるってことですね。
Fine, fine. Hey, break time is over. Let's time to get back to work.
押さないでくださいよ。本当に左京さんと一緒に行かないんですか？これは彼の過去を知る絶好の機会ですよ。先輩だって左京さんのことをもっと知りたいって言ってたじゃないですか。
Okay, okay, I'll think about it. But first, let's get back to work. You had pretended to be uninterested in Kiki's suggestion, but you ended up mentioning it to Artem after work that day. Little did you know that he had already planned to invite you to the open house, so you two arranged to go together today. But this morning, Artem suddenly received a call from a client who needed him to attend to something right away. After some discussion, you two decided that you would go to the school first and he would join you there directly after he finished his work. There is still time before our appointment. I'll wait for him in the exhibition room. After texting Artem, you head towards the exhibition room. The exhibition room was built 2 years ago as a window for Sally's number one high school to showcase itself to the public. There are photos of the principals over the years and profiles of each year's top graduates. Artem must be on it, considering his grades. Feeling curious, you look up and search for Artem among the hundreds of photos of outstanding graduates. It's undoubtedly a school that's over a century old. There are tons of outstanding graduates. Artem graduated in the more recent years, so you start from the end and look back. You find him in no time. Artem wore his high school uniform. He looked much the same as he does now, serious but bashful. Wait, seriously, why can't we see his face? But for some reason, his gaze is slightly off camera. What was he looking at? Your gaze shifts to the bottom right on the corner of the photo where Artem's profile is. It's densely packed with series of awards. Artem really was a straight A student.
何を見ているんだ?
Just as you ponder about it, a familiar voice pulls you back from your reverie. You turn around to face Artem with a gentle smile on his face. Why is this like different? Like Like this is like different from his usual suits. He is still in the suit that he wore to the meeting with the client, and the senior attorney badge is still on his collar. For some reason, he exhibits a different kind of charm from the usual datings.
どうした？
Nothing. You hurriedly avert your gaze. You got here really quickly. Have you gotten everything sorted out?
ああ、全部終わらせてきた。かなり待ったか？
No, I just got here a few minutes ago.
そうか。ところで、さっきまで何を見ていたんだ？かなり真剣そうだったが。
Instead of answering him with words, you pull him closer to the photos on the wall.
私の写真を見てたのか。
Yep, it made me wonder.
なんだ？
Have you always been a genius at studying? Artem looked at you in surprise upon hearing your question and shakes his head helplessly.
いいえ、私は。
A cough that sounds clearly intentional interrupts your conversation with Artem. Who are you? Nice at the mission room. A cough that sounds clearly intentional interrupts your conversation with Artem. It is then that you notice the man standing behind Artem. He is looking playfully at you too.
さあ今日、隣にいる人、俺に紹介してくれないのか？
Is he an acquaintance of Artem's?
彼女は私と交際している女性だ。
As soon as Artem introduced you, the man's eyes widen. Surprise is written all over his face.
彼女？さきょお前、ようやく彼女ができたんだな。だからさっき挨拶した後、急いで展示室に行ったのか。なるほど、そういうことか。
Seemingly realizing that he is being fussy, the man gently clears his throat and puts away his playful smile. He then extends his hand towards you.
自己紹介が遅れました。俺は春山東也といって、高校3年の時に左京の後ろの席に座ってたものです。
Nice to meet you. Spencer Harrison's eyes wandered back and forth between you and Artem, then he breathed a long sigh.
ほんと、時間が過ぎるのって早いね。入学してきたばかりの頃、お前はいつも一人だったのにな。俺たちがいじめてるって先生に疑われたことは、正直、今でも忘れられないよ。そんなお前が、今ではエリート弁護士になって、しかもこんなに可愛い彼女まで連れてるんだもんな。
Bullying him? You didn't really hear the rest of his words. You had tunnel vision onto Artem's being bullied. In your imagination, Artem was an independent and self-motivated straight-A young man in high school, if not of great influence. You look at them in confusion. Artem wears an exasperated smile on his face when Spencer Harrison has a playful look.
ほら、作業。彼女にもちゃんと説明してやるよ。多分、すごく心配そうにしてるぞ。
聞きたいか？
Yes.
一人きりといっても深刻な話ではなくて、当時の家庭事情の関係で私は通常よりも遅れて入学したんだ。それで先に入学したクラスメートたちがすでにおのおの馴染んでいてな。私はもともと雰囲気作りが得意なタイプではなかったし、率先して人との交流ができるような人間でもなかった。その結果、私はクラスの中で 少しずつ孤立し、その状況を見た先生がいじめだと誤解してしまったんだ。
Hearing Artem's account, Spencer Harrison quickly nodded his head in agreement and sympathy.
そうそう。それに比べて俺はクラスの中でもうるさかったからな。左京のすぐ後ろの席だったこともあって一番疑われてたんだ。
How was the misunderstanding resolved later?
その事実に気づいた左京が執務室に行って担任の先生に直接説明してくれたんだよ。んで俺はその時こっそり後をつけてったんだけど。
Office.
遠野先生、ある件について説明しておきたいのですが、よろしいでしょうか。
いいわよ。どうしたの？
最近クラスメートが私をいじめているという噂を耳にしました。
それは。
その噂は事実ではありません。私は確かに一人でいることが多いですが、それは彼らとは関係ありません。今はちょっとしたやむを得ない理由でクラスメートとの距離が離れているだけです。
左京君、誰かにそういうよう迫られてない？
遠野先生、心配してくれてありがとうございます。ですがこれは本当にただの誤解です。それにもしも本当にそのような状態に陥ったとしても、私は法律で自らの身を守れますから。
今だから言うけど、そん時は本気ですごいやつだと思ったよ。まさか直接担任を説得しに行くなんてな。最終的には遠野先生がクラス会で俺に謝ってくれたけど、あんなことは初めてだったよ。
私は当然のことをしただけだ。
お前何年も経ってるっていうのに、そういうところは全然変わってないな。
君こそ変わってないようだな。
そうか？昔と変わらずイケてるか？
ああ、昔と変わらず話が長い。
It's the first time you've seen Artem interacting with his high school classmates. It doesn't quite feel like what you expected. There isn't much change in his tone, but the corners of his mouth are slightly raised, and he seems to be in a pleasant mood. From their conversation, you slowly piece together Artem's high school days in your head. His high school began with a misunderstanding which was far from what you imagined, yet it was still interesting. You are about to ask Spencer about more things when he suddenly yaps after glancing at his phone.
しまった。話に夢中でバスケ部との約束忘れるとこだった。それじゃデートの邪魔をしないよう俺は失礼するよ。いつか機会があったら飯でも一緒に行こうな。
Spencer Harrison leaves the exhibition room before you can reply. I bet you weren't bored in high school with him as your classmates for 3 years.
ああ、たまには少し静かにしてほしい時もあったがな。
Artem's tone seems to carry a hint of nostalgia for his high school days. You gently hold his hand, pulling his mind back from the past. Artem? What should we do now? Artem looks at you and ponders for a while.
ついてきてくれ。
Nice eye. After Spencer Harrison left, Artem didn't tell you his plan for the rest of the trip. Instead, he stepped into the sunshine with your hand in his. Other for the school's current students, many others who have already graduated and entered the workforce are also at the school. Most of the crowd flows to the historic library, but the direction Artem takes you seems to be headed towards the academic building. Artem, where are we going? Artem looks at you, hesitant to say something. You remember that he said he would show you around the school. Is he taking me someplace that he has special meaning to him? Seeing that you are about to say something, Artem puts his finger on your lips. His sudden move makes your heart skip.
すまないが、どこかはまだ聞かないでくれ。今ただ私についてきてほしい。
Okay, since you're keeping it a secret, should I close my eyes? You were actually joking, but from the serious look on Arthur's face, it looks like he's really contemplating it. Artem, I was just...
この先、少しだけ階段がある。
Huh?
だが、私が手をつないで安全に進むから、少しの間、目を閉じていてくれるか？
The gentle look in his eyes makes it impossible for you to refuse his request. Okay. You slowly close your eyes. The darkness enhances your other senses. You can feel the breath of the wind and hear the whispering of birds in trees. And the warmth for Artem's palm on your wrist.
では、行こうか。
Okay. With the help of Artem's patient guidance, you step into the elevator. It goes up, briefly experience weightlessness. Ding! The elevator stops and Artem gently guides you out.
私と一緒に左に曲がってくれ。
Okay.
今から階段を登るから、まずは左足を高く上げて。そう、もう少しだ。
You follow Artem's instruction. His voice dispelled the uneasiness of darkness in your heart.
到着した。が、
There seems to be a hitch in the plan. You resist the urge to open your eyes and wait for his response.
君のヘアピンを貸してくれないだろうか。
Huh? Sure, here you go. You remove the hairpin from your hair and hand it to Artem. After a moment, you hear a clicking sound. It looks like he opened something. Artem pushed the door open.
もう歩いても大丈夫だ。足元の段差に気をつけて進んでくれ。
You are led into an open space. A cool breeze mixed with the warmth of the sun brushes against your cheek.
さて。
Artem comes behind you and puts his hand gently on your shoulders. His warm breath is right by your ear.
もう目を開けてもいいぞ。
Rooftop. You slowly open your eyes and find yourself on the rooftop with the best view. In the distance are the rolling mountains that you rarely see from downtown. A long airplane trail breaks through the blue sky, slowly dispersing like ink in water. It's beautiful. Being here helps me forget all my worries.
ああ。私が初めてここに来た時も、君と同じようなことを思ったよ。
Artem turns you around to face him.
先ほどのヘアピンをつけ直すから、近づいてくれ。
Okay. Artem gently put the hairpin back on and helps you rearrange your bangs. You look up and meet with his clear eyes. Suddenly, you click the clicking. Did you just use my hairpin to pick the lock? Suddenly, you remember the clicking sounds from earlier. Artem, did you just use my hairpin to pick the lock?
ああ。あの類の鍵は古いから、開けるのはそう難しいことではない。
That's not the problem here, Mr. Wing. While you are talking, Artem takes out two bento lunch boxes from his insulated bag.
今日は私を待っていたせいで、まだ何も食べていないだろう。だからこちらで用意しておいた。
Artem opens them. A well-balanced meal is presented to you, immediately awakens your appetite. Did you make this?
ああ。口に合うかどうか試してみてくれ。
You put up a small piece of broccoli into your mouth. I didn't know broccoli could taste like this. Artem, you should give it a try too. You pick up another piece of broccoli and subconsciously bring it up to his mouth. You met Artem's kiss, then you realize he is the chef. Of course he knows the teas. But your hand is right in front of his mouth. You lay that aside and are about to withdraw your hand when Artem grabs your wrist. You look up at Artem and notice that his cheeks and ears are slightly flushed. Also, his hand on your wrist is burning hot. Artem.
昔、学校の掲示板でとあるランキングを見たことがあるんだ。
What was it about? Artem looks at you with a subtle smile in his eyes.
校内カップルに聞いたやってみたいことトップ10というやつだ。
I know that one. I remember the top thing on the list was feed your partner. Halfway through your sentence, you realize that it was exactly what you were doing, and your face quickly turns red. Seeing you like this, Artem smiles. He then speaks slowly.
屋上で相手にご飯を食べさせてあげるか。
Yeah. After hearing your affirmative reply, Artem leans down and takes the gentle bite of the broccoli in your hand. Can I? Can I go back? I want to watch it again.
今朝試食した時よりもずっと美味しいな。
Nice eye. Rooftop. As Artem swallows the food in his mouth, you can't help but sigh softly. After coming to the school, Artem seems a bit different from before. Perhaps sensing the change in your mood, Artem looks at you in confusion.
急にため息なんてどうかしたのか。
I just realized that my perception of my boyfriend is a little off.
どうしてそう思うんだ。
I never thought of you as someone who would pick a log on a roof. On a roof is on a roof. Seriously, I never thought you as someone who would pick a log on a roof with restricted access just so we could have a meal together. You totally turned my view of you as a high school student on its head.
それなら君の想像していた私とはどんな高校生だったんだ。
A strict A student who strictly followed the school rules and was super popular with girls. The smile on Artem's face widened as you spill everything in a single breath.
そうか。だが一つ目以外は全て違うな。
I'm so silly. I assume everything by myself and it all turned out to be wrong.
実を言うと、私も少し前までは同じだった。
Huh?
君のことを考えすぎるあまり、一人で勝手にいろいろと想像していたんだ。だが、今はその必要もなくなった。
Why? Artem lowers his head and rested it against your forehead intimately.
なぜなら、君がもう手の届く場所にいるからだ。かつて、どんなに離れた場所にいたとしても、今こうして一緒にいる限り、いくらでも過去は共有できる。
Is that why you brought me here? So that I could see and know what your past self was like?
ああ、晴れている日は食堂よりも心地いいから、昔の私はよくここで食事をしていたんだ。だから、それを君にも感じてもらおうと思ってな。
It is quite comfortable. Snuggled in Artem's arms, you chat casually with him. But then, suddenly, you hear two voices coming from inside the building near the roof.
なんか屋上の方から音がしないか？
今日は人もたくさん来てるし、誰かが息抜きでもしてるんだろ
いや、ダメだろ。万が一誰かが危険な目にでもあったら、誰が責任を取るんだ？
心配なら見に行ってこいよ。俺は4階を回ってこなきゃいけないからな。
わかった。俺が見てくる。
The voice disappeared, but the sound of footsteps getting closer. Although today is an open house day at Sally's number 1 high school, the rooftop is locked, which means that no one is allowed. You get suddenly nervous if you two get caught. It's like true school sweetheart getting caught on a secret deed. You look at Artem, who is completely calm. His extremely peaceful demeanor puts your mind at ease.
心配いらない。私が説明するから。
Upon saying this, Artem takes the initiative to open the door. You suddenly have an idea. You wrap your arm around Artem's neck, ready to whisper in his ear. Artem is startled by your sudden action and turns to look at you in surprise. The footsteps are quickly approaching, leaving you almost no time.
どうした？
The two of you are so close together that Artem's breath rattles your nose. You look deeply into Artem's charming eyes and express your thoughts word by word. Artem, I do not want to get caught.
君。
Artem's eyes widen incredulously and his cheeks gradually grow red. He then responds by leaning in close to you and whispering in your ear.
わかった。なら、ここから逃げよ
The sound of keys jingling outside the door reminds you that someone will be here soon.
う。ひとまずタンクの裏に隠れよ
Okay. No sooner have you taken cover behind the tank than the door opens and someone walks in. Artem holds you tightly in his arms and your heart pounds with excitement. Your body shifts slightly in Artem's arm.
う。悪いが、もう少しだけ我慢してくれ。
Artem soothes you softly, the wind whistle on the rooftop masking his whispers so that only you can hear. The clock ticks and the footsteps seems to be heading to the other side of the rooftop.
今だ。
Before you can react, Artem has already pulled you away, whisking you away from the rooftop. Classroom. You dart to the third floor where he leads you around the corner into an empty classroom. You lean on Artem's shoulder, gasping softly, while Artem leans on the desk and wraps his arms around you, patting you on the back. The window facing the field is open and the feather-like curtains float in the air. You can hear people talking downstairs. It feels as if you are in the same world as them, yet not quite. Artem?
ん
Nothing. I just wanted to see your name.
そうか。
You look up to Artem and meet his gaze. As you two look at each other, you suddenly realize something. Artem, I noticed that you look quite different from your high school photo in some ways.
違い？どこが違うのか教えてくれるか？
Let's act.
違い？どこが違うのか教えてくれるか？
A subtle smile spreads on Artem's face. It's like he is trying to entice you to tell him the answer. You reach your hand out to touch his lips while recalling the photo you saw in the exhibition. Your finger touches his eyebrows. He retracts a little finger but doesn't avoid his touch. And doesn't avoid your touch. When you were in high school, you were frowning all the time. But now, you rarely frown and you always look so sweet and tender. I want to you smile. You are reflected clearly in his gaze as you slowly move your hand from his eyebrows down to his eyes. As for your eyes, it feels like they are sharper than they used to be. But occasionally they reveal your tenderness, which draws people in against your will. As your finger continues to move down, you touch the tip of Artem's high nose and he gently wrinkles it from the ticklish feeling. The photo of your nose is not very clear. Now your finger moves to Artem's lips. His soft lips gently raised against your fingertips. This is the biggest difference. You used to slightly purse your lips, but now they always have a slight curve to them. Artem suddenly catches your finger, pressing it to his lips.
他にはまだあるか?
Artem asks in a harsh voice. Your gut tells you that he is restraining himself. No, that's it. You want to escape from Artem's burning gaze, but you find yourself unable to. It's as if you have been firmly caught in a web. The distance between you, which was already quite close, is now even closer. You slowly close your eyes, subconsciously expecting something to happen. Suddenly, the sound of footsteps sounds outside the classroom. You immediately open your eyes.
私、昔はここの教室で授業を受けてたんだ。あれから10年も経ってるから、中はもう変わってると思うけどね。
変わったかどうか気になるなら入ってみてみれば？
The voices of some visitors come through the window, snapping you and Artem back to reality. You suddenly pulse back a little, but your cheeks continue to burn.
グラウンドの方にでも行ってみようか。
After some time has passed, Artem speaks in a slightly calmer tone of voice. Okay. Sportsville. Although it is an open house day, many students are practicing out in the field. You and Artem walk side by side. Your fingers occasionally touch. As your fingers touch once more, Artem takes your hand and clutches it in his. You look up at Artem and find him red-faced. He is pretending to watch the ongoing game on the field. Artem seems to be just as embarrassed as I am. If no one had passed by the classroom earlier, would Artem have kissed you? Stop thinking about that. I better get that off my mind as soon as possible. You shake your head, trying to push the thoughts off your mind. Artem, have you ever been caught on the rooftop? To ease the tension in the air, you change the topic.
いや、だが一度だけ見つかりそうになったことはある。
Huh? What happened?
あの頃は確か合唱コンクールの練習時期だったんだが、私は子供の頃から歌唱力が低くてな。
You practice on the rooftop every day?
ああ、それで一度だけ夢中になりすぎて警備員に気づかれてしまったんだ。
What happened?
その後は
Artem squints at you with arches, eyebrows and paws on purpose. Don't just stop there. Did you get caught? You can't help but tighten your grip on Artem's hand.
いや、その警備員は新人だったのか、結局屋上の鍵を見つけられなかったんだ。彼は数分扉の前で立ち尽くした後、その場から離れていったよ。
You are relieved to hear that Artem didn't get caught.
もう随分と昔の話だ。そこまで緊張しなくてもいい。
I know, but it was you.
あ
Speaking of singing, you don't really sing very often.
あ、さっきも言ったが、私は歌があまり得意じゃないんだ。
Artem looks at you a little sadly as the waning golden light shines upon his hair. His mouth opens and closes without a word just when you thought that he wasn't going to say anything, she speaks.
私は君が思っているような何でもできる優等生ではないんだ。私にも苦手なことはたくさんある。歌もそうだが、手工芸の類もまるで才能がない。失望したか？
Why would I be? This may not be a good way to put it, but it makes me happy that you are willing to tell me all of this. I love the feeling of getting to know you better with each passing day. I love to know the side of you that you only show to me. Artem sighed softly.
君という人は
The neighbor had just started to. The erupting cheers drowned Artem's response. While everyone's attention is drawn to the celebration, he bends down, casting a soft shadow in front of you. Artem's round lips gently touch your forehead, leaving behind a light kiss. Although it only lasted for a moment, the burning sensation caused by his kiss lingers for a long time.
ここは人が多すぎるな。他の場所に行こうか。
Yeah. Next night. You and Artem stroll by the lake hand in hand. It's far from the center of the school. Visitors rarely come here. The only people you encounter are the occasional student passing by.
こんにちは。お二人は一校を見学しに来られたのですか？
A short-haired girl with a camera hanging on her neck calls out.
そうだが、何か用か？
まず、私は一校の生徒で写真部の者です。今は校内新聞に載せるためにオープンキャンパスの写真を撮っていました。結論から言うとですね、お二人を見かけたとき、並んでいる姿がとても絵になるなと思いまして。なので、失礼かもしれませんが、お二人の写真を一枚撮らせていただけませんか？
Will it be posted in the school newspaper?
はい、もちろんです。ですが嫌でしたら公開はしません。約束します。それにせっかくいい雰囲気なので、記念に一枚残しておいた方がいいと思いますよ。安心してください。こう見えても腕には自信があるので。
The girl looks at you and Artem expectantly. Should I agree? Agree. Now that I think about it, Artem and I don't have many pictures together. Let's do it. Like she said, it's a souvenir. You look up at Artem. Artem, shall we take a picture?
ああ、私はそれで構わない。
You turn around to the girl and gesture an okay. We are in. Let's take a picture. Hearing this, the girl immediately begins to look for the best angle from the shot. However, after many shots, she still doesn't seem to be satisfied with any of them. What's wrong? Is the lighting not good? She shakes her head and walks to you with a brilliant smile. She speaks at a volume that only the two of you can hear.
彼氏さん、 お姉さんのことがすごく好きなんですね。
Huh? The girl hands you the camera. She has taken a dozen pictures of you and Artem. You scroll through each and every one of them and find that Artem's eyes are on you in every picture. Seriously, Artem, please look at the camera once.
こんな個人的な写真となると、さすがに校内新聞には載せられませんね。
すまない。私は写真撮影でレンズを見続けるのが苦手で。もう一度撮り直そうか。
もう大丈夫です。この写真は記念で撮ったものですので、そう考えればとってもいい作品になったと思います。なのでこちらはプレゼントとしてお二人が受け取ってください。
The girl fiddles with the camera with her head down and sends a photo to your phone.
こちらに残った写真はしっかりと削除しておきますね。
Thank you so much. After the girl leaves, Artem gives you a wry smile.
私は昔から写真写りが悪く、撮った写真はどうしても堅苦しくなってしまうんだ。その後、とある写真家が無理にレンズを見ようとせず、好きなところを見てていいと教えてくれてな。だから私は。
Artem stopped talking. He seemed to have realized something. Still, you have already realized that what he wants to see from his hesitant demeanor. He kept looking at me because I was the only one he wanted to pay attention to. Compared to the dominant and serious version of him at work, Artem seems a bit clumsy at this moment. This somehow cuts through the softest part of your heart. You are so moved. Artem. I like these photos better than any others taken in any other pose or from any other angle. You make me feel like I'm so cherished. But still, I don't want you to force yourself to do things you don't want to do just to accommodate me.
私は無理などはしていない。
Artem looks into your eyes as he takes a step closer to you and whisper.
私は君ともっとたくさんのことを試してみたいと思っている。一緒に写真を撮るのもそのうちの一つだ。そうしていく中で、もしかしたら君の知らない私の一面が見えてくるかもしれない。君はもうそれらを受け入れる覚悟はできているか？
You look up at Artem and nod slowly, basking in his gentle gaze. Seriously, Artem?
あ、私だ。今着いたが、君は待っていたのか？渋滞はない。ただ家に入る前に怪我をした猫に会ってな。救助を手伝ってたの。心配いらない。大丈夫だ。動物病院があとは何とかしてくれるらしい。ああ、家の近くでは最近あまり見かけないな。だが友人が撮った写真によると、大学にはまだ野良猫がいるそうだ。私が在学中も大きなオレンジ色の猫がいて、よく懐いていた。法学部棟の前によくいたが、授業中でも堂々と教室に入ってきていたな。どの授業か？確か法理論だったな。そこの教授が大の猫好きで寛容だったんだ。君も見かけたことがあるのか？ああ、すまない。ただ縁があるなと思ってな。私たちは同じ大学で同じ専攻。見た猫も同じ。君がテミスに来る前は私たちは名前を知っているだけ。直接話したこともない。後悔？前は確かにそうだったが、今はもう思ってはいない。私たちがいつ出会おうと、大事なのは今一緒にいることだ。 それに今は過去を気にしている余裕もない。今日はもう遅いから早く寝なさい。おやすみ。
Why is the PC a little over the top? Alright, so okay, there's nothing there, so okay, bye.